Hello friends and welcome to Virtual Tech Box YouTube channel. Today I will show you how to deploy the PXE boot server in the Windows 10 system with the very easy steps. First I will show you how to configure the PXE boot in the Windows 10 installed system. Then I will show you how to deploy the Windows 10 in the client system through the network boot which we have configured. Let's start. Before we begin, I will first explain you my setup. While configuring the server software in host PC, you can choose the option of the DHCP. If you have existing DHCP server in your setup, then you can choose the proxy DHCP option. So in my setup, I am having the TP-Link Wi-Fi router which is doing the DHCP. So while configuring the server software in the host PC, I will select the proxy DHCP. If you don't have the DHCP in your setup, you can choose the DHCP option in the server software, and it will do the DHCP also. So this is my host PC where I will configure the server software. It is having the Windows 10, and this host PC is directly connected via LAN cable to the Wi-Fi router, and other side this is my client setup, client laptop, which is also directly connected to the Wi-Fi router through the LAN cable. Once PXE boot server is configured in the host PC, I will deploy the Windows 10 in this client system or laptop via network boot. So let's move on directly to the host PC. This is my Windows 10 system host PC where we are going to configure the network boot server. I will open the Google Chrome and I will go to Google. I will search here server download. I will go to this website, and this is the server software download page, and you can see here there are two downloads are available. One is Community Edition and one is Server Pro. The major difference is in Community Edition you get the 50 minutes of maximum time only, and parallel session you can run is 2, but generally in 15 to 20 minutes Windows 10 get installed over the network boot. I will go ahead and I will download the server Community Edition, which will download in the zip format. It has downloaded. I will go to download folder. I will extract it. And this is my extracted folder. I will cut this and I will go to D drive and I will paste here. I will rename this folder as server_root, which will be used as the root folder for my server software. And these are the two exe you can see here. One is 32-bit and one is 64-bit. I will go to my computer. I will go to properties, and you can see here my system is having Windows 10 Pro, which is 64-bit. So I will run the server 64 exe. I will have to wait 7 seconds as I am using the Community Edition. I am a community user. Okay, this is the server software page. I will go to setting and I will go to TFTP. I will tick here TFTP server and I will browse and I will go to D drive server root folder which we had created just now. I will select it. This server root path would be used for the TFTP server. I will go to DHCP server, DHCP settings. As I have already explained you in my setup, I am already having the DHCP server. I will show you here. I will go to browser and I will log into my Wi-Fi router. I will give the username and password. I will go to DHCP option. Here you can see my DHCP, my router, Wi-Fi router is doing the DHCP, and this is the DHCP range, and DHCP is enabled in the Wi-Fi router. So in my server software, I will select the proxy DHCP option. If you are not having the DHCP in your setup, you can select this option, DHCP server option. So it will do the DHCP also. I will select this option also, BINL. OK. Now I will close the server software and I will reopen it. I will wait for 7 seconds. I am a community user. You can see here it has detected the root path which we had selected in previous step, and these are 3 folders which got created. So we are going to install the Windows 10, so we will have to use this folder WIA_WDS for the Windows 10. You can see here this folder is empty. I will have to make this folder as shared folder so that it should be accessible over my network or over my LAN. I will right click on this WIA_WDS folder. I will go to properties, I will go to sharing, advanced sharing. I will tick here share this folder, and share name I will give WIA_WDS_shared. I will go to permissions, and everyone should be having the read only permission for this folder. I will press OK. Apply, OK, close. Now WIA_WDS folder is shared over my LAN. I will check that this folder is accessible over the my LAN or not. I will copy the host name of my system and I will go to run, and I will try to access the folder through host name of my PC. You can see here WIA_WDS_shared folder, it is showing as shared, and I am able to open it. I will again go to root folder. Under WIA_WDS, I will create one folder for the Windows 10. This is the Windows 10 ISO file which I have already downloaded on my system. I will have to extract this ISO file to the Windows 10 folder which we have just created. I will go to 7-zip manager, which I am going to use for extracting the ISO. Before we move forward, I will have to configure this 7-zip to read the ISO file. I will go to tools, options, and I will select the ISO option here. I will add this, apply, OK. I will close the 7-zip manager. Now I can extract the ISO file with the 7-zip. I will right click on the ISO file. I will go to open with 7-zip. I will go to extract, and I will give the path of the Windows 10 folder which we had just created, D drive, server root, WI_WDS and Windows 10 folder. OK. It will extract the Windows 10 ISO to the Windows 10 folder under the WI_WDS folder. OK. The ISO file is being extracted. Extract completed. I will close the 7-zip manager. I will go to Windows 10 folder. You can see all the files extracted from the Windows 10 ISO. Now I will close the server software. And I will again open it. I will wait for 7 seconds. I am a community user. You can see here in the logs it has generated the error SMB share not found. Actually the share path name which we have given is wrong. Actually share path name should be in prescribed format only, otherwise it will generate the error. So that share path name we will have to correct it. We will have to go again to the WI_WDS folder, and we will have to correct that share path name. Because the share path name which we have given is not true, I will go back to WI_WDS folder. I will right click, go to properties, I will go to sharing, I will go to advanced sharing, and you can see here it is not allowing me to edit. So editing the folder name is not possible here. So I will have to first stop the sharing. So I will go ahead and untick the share this folder option, apply, OK, close. Now sharing has been stopped. I will again go to properties of the WIA_WDS folder, advanced sharing. I will tick here share this folder, and I will give the folder name as WIA_WTS_share. I will go to permission. Everyone should have the read only permission. OK, apply, OK again, close. Now the sharing has been again enabled with the correct name. I will copy the system host name. I will go to run, and I will try to access the folder with the host name. I am able to access the share path with the host name, means now share path is correct. I will close the server software. I will again open the server software. I will wait for 7 seconds. I am a community user. You can see here in the logs now there is no error generated, which means all the settings are correct now. So this is the part of configuring the server software on the host system, which we have completed. And the second part of this deployment is of this video is to deploy the Windows 10 on the client system through the network boot, which we have just configured. We will go to client system and we'll try to install the Windows 10 through the PXE boot. So let's just directly move on to the client system. This is my client system, which is the Lenovo laptop. I will go to BIOS and I will show you the two settings which must be configured for the network boot to work. Under the BIOS, I will go to config, and under the config I will go to network, and under the network this option Ethernet LAN option ROM should be enabled, which is already enabled in my system. I will press escape to go back. And under the boot option, network boot, in front of the network boot your LAN adapter should be selected. My laptop is having a Realtek adapter which is selected here. These two options should be selected to PXE boot to work properly. Both the options are properly configured in my client system, so no need of changes. I will exit and restart the system. No changes are required in my system. I will just go ahead and restart it. I will interrupt here and I will press the F12 to go to BIOS manager, boot manager, and under the boot option I will select the PCI LAN for the network boot to start. it is searching for the IP from the DHCP. It has received the IP and it has detected the server software settings. It is loading the files from the TFTP of the server software which we had configured. Setup is starting. I will zoom here. It is asking to provide the username and password for the share path of the server software. So to access the share path, we will have to provide here the username and password of the system on which we had configured the server software. I will give the username as administrator. I will provide the password for the administrator. Connect. It has now connected to the TFTP path of the server software. Next, install now. Accept. Next, custom. There are many pre-existing partitions in my system. I will delete all the partitions for the fresh installation. I will delete the all partitions one by one. All the existing partitions has been deleted now. Now I will make the first partition which will be used as C drive for my client system. I will give the size for the C drive. And I will hit the apply. Okay. Now remaining size I will use for the second partition. I will make the second partition. Apply. I will highlight the C partition and I will press the next. Now installation has started. To complete the installation, it will restart it 2 times. restarting the first time. After the restart, it will resume the installation. It is restarting the second time now to complete the installation. Next, offline account. I will click here. I will create the local user here, which is admin. Next, I will set the password for the admin user. Next, I will confirm the password here. Next, I will add a hint here for the password. Next, yes. accept. System has logged into the local user, which is admin. It has taken the IP address also from the DHCP. I will click yes here. Like this way we have installed the Windows 10 in the client system through the PXE boot. We will go back to host PC now. On host PC side, these are the logs created in the server software during the Windows 10 installation in the client system through the network boot. By this way you can configure the PXE boot server using server software in the Windows 10 system. That's it for today, friends. Like the video, share it with the friends and spread the knowledge. Subscribe to channel. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.